It's your girl, I Rose from the Concrete. I am your community peer support specialist and the Hood's recovery coach. Back again with another video. And I wanted to come today and do a video regarding recovery and wellness and recovery, and kind of streamline what that process kind of looks like, and really knock down some of the stigmas and enigmas and some of the ideas that have been attached to recovery that may not be true no more in this day and age. Things have changed, and so recovery begins the moment a person decides to make better choices about their physical and mental well-being, work to live a meaningful self-directed life, and strive to achieve their full potential. There is no one way to be in recovery. It's a personal journey. Let's start this. Hey. Go get it. Go get it. Me against me. Guess who winning? I'm winning. I'm winning. Making money moves. Go get it. Go get it. I'm in business. I don't wanna struggle, so I hustle. I go get it. I save my money now. I stack it high. Touching ceilings. Touching ceilings.
Seen the lowest of the lows, and still I rose. Now I'm at your neck.
Hey, my roses. It's your girl, I Rose from the Concrete. I am your community peer support specialist and the Hood's recovery coach. And I already told y'all what the purpose of the video is, but I'm going to go back through it just to, expound and expand on whatever your idea of recovery is. I just want to kind of broaden your horizons on it. And so, what is recovery? Understanding the interconnection of recovery and wellness, exploring concepts of recovery and wellness. You can recover from sex, drugs, money, food, gambling, anything that takes you away from yourself, anything that creates a narrative where you're self-sabotaging and you're unable to get to your best self. And at the end of this video, I'm also going to share with y'all 10 signs you may want to start your personal recovery journey, because we do recover from a lot of different things. And so anytime you're talking about recovery, you would think that people would want to talk about wellness. Absolutely, because the goal of recovery is wellness of some sort. You've lost yourself and you've lost the ability to become your best self and be well. And so the definition that we have here for wellness is an active process of becoming aware of and making choices toward a more successful existence. Wellness is an active process of becoming aware of and making choices toward a healthy and fulfilling life. Wellness is more than being free from illness. It's a dynamic process of change and growth, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity or pain, hurt, emotional trauma. It's not the absence of that, but more so the ability to deal with those things in a more positive manner. Awareness precedes choice, and choice precedes results. I just felt like that was something that was necessary to put here, because when you speak of wellness and you talk about being aware and making choices, it's really, really hard to accept anything or to make a decision to be better if you're unaware that there's a problem. And so, there are some key things you have to do in recovery in order to even start the process. And so, being aware that there's a problem is important. Admitting that there's a problem and then accepting there's a problem is important. And then being open to change, And so I just wanted to start this off with that, definition of wellness and what the process of wellness looks like. Wellness versus illness, thriving, struggling, suffering. That is a means of measuring where you are, and it's really good to know where you are in certain aspects of your life, so you know where you're trying to go, or exactly what needs to happen in order to see change. And so, yeah, I just wanted to go through the process of wellness for you. And so this next slide is going to be about recovery. Well, no, it's going to be about the the 8 dimensions of wellness. And so when you talk about wellness, they got dimensions of wellness. These are the different aspects of a person's wellness journey. Every human is multidimensional. Well, I can't say every human. There are some NPCs. I don't know. But there are dimensions of wellness. And exploring the various aspects of wellness, we're going to talk about the emotional, the financial, social, spiritual, environmental, intellectual, physical, and occupational. So the emotional talks about the learning how to cope effectively with life and creating satisfying relationships. Financial, satisfaction with current and future financial situations. Social, developing a sense of connection, belonging, and well-developed support system. Spiritual, expanding our sense of purpose and meaning in life. Occupational, personal satisfaction and enrichment derived from one's work. Physical, recognizing the need for physical activity, diet, sleep, and nutrition. Intellectual, recognizing creative abilities and finding ways to expand knowledge and skills. Environmental, good health by occupying pleasant, stimulating environments that support well-being. All this is really saying is that you would want to thrive. You would want to put yourself in situations that are conducive to seeing your growth, and not the demise of you, and that's in any part of your life. And so if you've lost the ability to do those things, you might want to go into recovery, because there is a protocol and a process that could be followed, no matter what you're recovering from, in order to see the results that you're trying to see. That's just facts, man. It really is. And so next, the most important word, well, not most important, but one of the most important words to define when you're talking about the recovery process is recovery. And so what is recovery? Samsha defines recovery as the process of change through which individuals improve their health and wellness, live a self-directed life, and strive to reach their full potential. Also, recover, verb, bounce back to good health after illness, right? After illness, to return back to prosperity, to get something back that was lost. Also, recovery, the personal process one goes through to regain control, purpose, or meaning in their life when dealing with mental or substance use disorders. And again, the reason I'm doing this video is because I'm starting to really understand that we can no longer limit this idea of recovery to just SUD and MHI, but anything that has taken you away from yourself in an unsafe and unhealthy manner. That's mean EI, these relationships, whether it's with a girl or a boy, it don't really matter, because codependency is actually an addiction. People can actually be addicted to relationships, which is why on this channel I don't advocate for relationships. I feel like if you're in recovery, you need to focus on yourself. And then there are the nuances that they have, but for the most part, I would say people need to just stay single when they're going through their first couple of years of recovery. But I digress. It's a personal journey, and it is something that only you can do for you. So I don't really advocate for relationships when you're going through that process, because you never want to outgrow a relationship and then be unable to let that relationship go. But then again, that falls under codependency, and that's an addiction. And addiction is classified as a disease because it's progressive if you don't get it arrested, and there's a process to arresting it. And so again, that's why I'm doing this video, so we can expand our ideas on what recovery is and when we need to go into recovery, because I'm tired of people hitting rock bottom before they realize that a change needs to be made, when there are always things that you can do on a regular basis that mirror recovery, that'll get you the same results. And it would basically be a recovery type of lifestyle, but more so it's weird. It's like it's called psycho cybernetics, really, but I guess we'll get into that in another video. And so there are very important components of recovery. And these components of recovery are more like the principles of recovery, and spiritual principles at that. There's hope, self-direction, the individualized, person-centered, empowerment, holistic, non-linear, strength-based, peer support, respect, responsibility, and I think I already said hope. And on this other slide, I have the stages of change, because that is also a process in itself. Recovery is non-linear, as it says in the components of recovery. And what that means is it's not a straight line, it's actually an upward spiral. It's like every time you relapse, you learn something new, or you're supposed to be learning something new every time you relapse, so you don't relapse in the same way. Because what you'll start to realize is it really is like a cycle. And I would hope everybody gets it the very first time, especially when it comes to drugs, or alcohol or sex, that eventually, you know whatever's driving you to want that, you'll figure out what that is, and it'll cease. But you won't figure that out unless you're paying attention. And so it wasn't brought to my attention that relapse was a part of the process until maybe like my third relapse, and that was like 10 years in at that point, off and on. And so I'm grateful to be able to step in and tell people, relapse is a part of the process. It's not something you want to use as a way out, or the duck in your pocket. But at the same time, you want to keep it in mind so you don't keep yourself in the same situation or beat yourself down because you relapsed. You always want to know that it is a part of the process sometimes for some people. Um, and again, recovery is non-linear. There is no one way to recover. Everybody goes through their own process. And so, in the next slide, we're going to talk about these stages of change. And so, pre-contemplative stage of change is kind of just like, I don't even see I got a problem. Then the contemplating stage is kind of like, I might have a problem. Some might be off, because I just keep getting the same damn results, and this ain't what I thought I was supposed to be getting. I don't understand. So then the preparation stage is, okay, I have a problem and I need to figure out what I'm gonna do about it. How am I actually going to change this situation that I have going on? And see, when I put this slide together, man, all of the stuff was visible, but I'm looking at this shit now and I'm like, I can't see none of this shit. But guess who's gonna still use this slide, because I'm explaining it thoroughly. If you would like to see what the slides say, it says stages of change, related treatment, and recovery support service. There go Recovery Research Institute. You could go check them out. And really take a good look at what the stages of change are, because change does not happen overnight. That shit is a process. So back to preparation is that part where you just start going, oh my god, I have to figure out what I'm going to do in order to start seeing some different things. What can I do? You start looking for help. Action is you start using the help, utilizing the assistance, whatever it is you may gather in the preparation stage for change. And then maintenance is when you're in the process of changing and you are trying to continue that change, whatever the change may be, whatever the behavior was that you decided to cease. And that's a process. um also want to talk about the recovery processes. No matter what you are recovering from, this will be the process. Recovery and wellness are not limited to substance use and or illicit behaviors, but anything that has taken you away from your best self or the ability to create your best self. I said that before, so I just wanted to make sure that I said that again. When we're talking about the processes of life, not processes of life, but really the processes of life. But the recovery processes, we're talking about the connectedness, the peer support and support groups, relationships, and being a part of a community. That is important. Hope and optimism about the future. I ain't tell you to go have hope in another person. I'm not telling you to go have hope in being in a relationship or being married or anything that has to do with something outside of yourself, but hope for the future, the possibility of recovery, and the motivation to change. Identity, your self identity is extremely important to the recovery process. And I would advise you to eliminate anybody that is that may be a threat to your identity. Okay. well, not anybody, because some people are really telling you the truth about yourself, but you got to work on your discernment so you know who is who. Okay. And so dimensions of identity, rebuilding and redefining a positive self of identity. I know we done been through some things. Once you get to the point where you start feeling like you need to go into recovery and you need some structure, uh, with learning how to change, yeah, you may have had some things that have happened to you that is affecting you being able to even create a positive self-image. But that is going to be a major part of the recovery process for you. And for me, it was for me, definitely was for me. Um, Meaning in life. Uh, One of the recovery processes is really creating meaning in your life, spirituality, quality of life, meaning life in social roles, rebuilding your life. This is kind of bouncing back on the 8 dimensions of wellness, but this is more so a streamline of exactly what you can look forward to when you start the process of recovery and you start going to support groups and you start looking for peer support and you start reading up on stuff and you start edifying yourself, and you start changing your mind about how things may go and how things should go. That takes time, and this is the process. Empowerment is the process. Personal responsibility, control over your life, and focusing on your strengths is a major part of the recovery processes. And so, with that being said, the recovery process is about building. The recovery process is the process of building connection, meaning, and purpose, awareness of my humanity, your humanity, self determination and personal responsibility, hope, resilience, a sense of who you are. And really important to know that recovery is not the absence of pain, struggle, or setbacks. Um, Knowing that you are a complex human being and it's okay to mess up, because we all do, is important throughout the process of recovery. Because again, I stated that recovery is not linear, it's not a straight line. It is a spiral, a cycle, a circle. You continuously come back to new things that you thought you understood in the early years of recovery, and find that you understand certain concepts a lot more. But again, like I said, the process is what it is. It's a process. The recovery is a process. Growth, change, and anytime you decide to do something different with your life, it's a process. Now, while we're talking about what the process is, and there being a process for recovery, I also want people to understand that you can recover from anything and everything. And right now, there's a lot coming to the forefront as far as relationships and things of that nature. And I just want people to realize, you can recover from substance use, mental health diagnoses, codependency, which is what I feel like is going on in the relationship spaces with a lot of people. A lot of people are codependent and don't even know it. But that's from the programming. All trauma, any and all trauma that may cause the use of different substances. Trauma causes mental health issues because trauma changes the brain, which means that those chemicals in your brain may be misfiring due to certain experiences that you've had. But these are facts. This is some stuff that I've learned throughout my personal and professional experience with mental health and substance use issues. So I really specialize in dual diagnosis. And so also you can recover from narcissistic abuse. And I think that that's where I may be taking this channel, because I see a lot of women who go into recovery and not to say that you can't have a successful relationship while you're in recovery, but you may want to just kind of wait and see who you turn out to be, because what tends to happen is once you start recovery and that process, you change so much that what you used to be attracted to um changes. It changes a whole lot. It changes a tremendous a lot. A tremendous a lot. Yeah, it changes. So you may want to give yourself some time to heal and actually go through at least 2 to 3 years of recovery before you actually start trying to date and be in relationships, because that's a lot to take on without knowing what's actually going on the inside of another person and what their intentions are. Even though they may say that their intentions are pure, they may not actually be pure, and that could set you off. Yeah, you want to learn yourself to the best of your ability before you start putting yourself in situations with other people like that. But again, recovery from substance use, mental health diagnoses, codependency, all trauma, and narcissistic abuse are things that you can recover from. There are some other things you can recover from, and if you like, get in the comment section and let me know, what do you feel are some things that people may need to recover from and actually go into recovery, because it's no longer just about drugs and mental health. This is a whole person thing now. Anything that may be taking you away from who you know yourself to be or who you know you want to be, recovery may be necessary. And I think that the whole world needs to go into recovery. Me personally, everybody needs to go into recovery at this point. If you over 25, you may need to go into recovery. 2020 was a tough year, man. I don't know how anybody is actually just going on with life like that. Didn't happen. I'm talking about, took all y'all little autonomy. um And then here's the part that we've all been waiting for. Maybe not all of us. We have not all been waiting for it. No, just me. Okay, cool. 10 signs you may want to start your recovery journey. Now, these are just a few of the signs that I personally went through when I realized it may be time for me to go ahead and start my recovery journey, which was about 20 years ago. I'm the very first time I ever went into a rehabilitation center was 20 years ago, and I went in for marijuana use. I was taking shit too far to get high on that weed. You understand? And so I put myself into recovery because I felt myself losing myself and me not being able to gain any kind of control, and I didn't know what else to do. So I just put myself in a recovery center, and mind you, I'm in the recovery center with people that smoke crack. So I'm telling them I'm in there for weed, and they laughing at me. No, no, but a drug is a drug is a drug, you know? And a mind altering substance is a mind altering substance. And we make bad decisions when our mind is altered sometimes, most times. So, 10 signs you may want to start your recovery journey. A lost sense of self. You don't know who you are anymore. You are not who you used to be, and you know something is not right. You do not feel like yourself no more. You feel out of control. You don't feel like you have any control in your life, and that you're just kind of, going with the flow, and the flow ain't going where you need it to go. You understand? Your health is deteriorating. You're seeing things fall apart, and you're not making doctor's appointments in order to go get the stuff checked out. um your personality has changed. You used to be a bubbly person, and now you're down and out. You're mad, you're sad. Something's going on with you, and you ain't figured out what it is. You're snappy. Things that used to make you laugh don't make you laugh no more. You cry a lot more. There may be a lot of different symptoms when it comes to your personality. And if you don't know yourself, you may not even realize that your personality has changed. That's why I feel like recovery too is so important, because it gives you such a clean, crisp, clear sense of self. You cannot stop the self-defeating behavior no matter how hard you try. You want to stop smoking cigarettes, you want to stop smoking crack, you want to stop drinking, you want to stop fucking with that man, but you can't. You just can't. You can't stop the self-defeating, as in, this is not even doing you right. This ain't even something that you should be okay with, because it's not edifying you, it's not putting anything into you, it is deteriorating you, it is self-defeating. Anything that goes against you and your nature is self-defeating. You are in a loop all day, no new experiences. You are just going through the same things day in, day out, day in, day out. You don't have any new experiences. You may need to start the recovery journey. um when you're in a loop, that's kind of like having the same thoughts over and over and over. There's no new information for you to process, and you've gotten yourself in this kind of a rut, you know constantly seeking outside validation to a fault. It's okay to get praises from people, and it's okay for people to compliment you, but to be looking for it constantly, doing things to get that, that may cause you hurt, harm, or someone else hurt and harm. Just willing to do anything to get that outside validation, and willing to put yourself in situations that don't benefit you for that outside validation. You may need to go into recovery. That is also codependency. That's codependent behavior. Also, you do not trust yourself. You don't trust your judgment. You're easily manipulated. You're gullible a little bit to a certain extent. You don't trust your judgment in the things that you tell yourself. Someone has been able to manipulate your mind so to the point where you are unable to listen to you. That's not a good sign. That's not good, because you got to be able to trust yourself. If you can't trust nobody, you need to be able to trust yourself. Okay. You have not been able to maintain healthy relationships. uh this is a big one, because the people that you choose to have around you, sometimes you don't get to choose that, but the people you choose to keep around you, yeah, you do get to choose that. Especially after 18, you get to make those kind of decisions. And sometimes maintaining a healthy relationship has a lot to do with who you are as a person, and if you're not in a good space, it's kind of hard to maintain healthy relationships. You may need to go into recovery. Something feels missing and you're constantly looking for it. Something feels missing and you're constantly looking for it. That is a sign that you may need to start your recovery journey. Whatever it is that you're missing, whatever it is that you're looking for, it's almost guaranteed that if you follow certain processes and protocols, if you retrain your brain for success, you will find whatever it is you're looking for, because most likely you're looking for yourself. But who can tell you what you're looking for better than you? Nobody can tell you what you need better than you. That's why recovery is a self-directed, person-centered journey, because nobody can tell you what you need. Yep. Yep. And so that's the video for today, people. Wanted to talk to you guys about the recovery and wellness journey and 10 signs you may want to start your recovery journey. Yeah, and at the end of the slide, I have a few different resources for you guys. If you're looking for some assistance with starting your recovery journey, I have the Council on Recovery here in Houston. We have the National Helpline. That's just in case you're not in Houston and you want to find a treatment referral or some information on services. They're open 24/7, 365 days a week. Then we have Promises Behavioral Health, the right step. That's where I went last time, and they're awesome. They're amazing. Help is always available. Here are a few resources geared towards the beginning of the journey. All right, you guys. Now, the next video I do, I'm probably gonna be on screen. It was real tough for me to get on screen today, because y'all got 3 kids, man. Them kids be roughhousing me, man. It's summertime too. I'ma really be on screen a whole lot more when summertime is over with. But yeah, but I'm trying to get these videos out to y'all, man, because y'all need to know some of this information. That's what I feel, think, and believe. So nobody came and streamlined this process for me. Nobody came and explained what recovery was and what wellness was and how they were interconnected. Nobody, man. I just been around this month. I got videos on my channel right now where I be telling y'all I am lost in the goddamn sauce. I'm not lost no more, y'all. I'm not lost no more. All right, it's your girl, I Rose from the Concrete. Hey, like, share, and subscribe.